Good evening, folks, and welcome to this week's episode of Beer Rating with Sean Connors. It's December 1st. For anybody that's following me on a regular basis, you know in November I had Sour Beer Month. So December, I figured I'd do a Christmas theme. And originally I picked up 4 Christmas ales for weekly reviews, and then I came across this bad boy, which is a Brewer's Advent Calendar of the German beers. So basically, it's 24 beers in the case. I don't really know which beers I'm going to get each day. On the box, I do have a list of the beers here. Not sure how well you can see it. I'll zoom in. Because it's German, I'm pretty sure they're all lagers. A mixture of Pilsner, Helles. I think there's a Vienna lager there. A couple Heffenweisers. And some beers I've never really even heard of. There's a Roche beer, which I believe is a smoke lager, and we'll go from there. So normally when I do my reviews, I'll zoom out again, sorry about that. Normally when I do my reviews, I know what beer I'm having. So therefore I do a little bit of research beforehand so I can talk a little bit about the beer, what to expect, or maybe a little bit about the brewery, just so I'm not going in blind. This is a little bit different as I have no idea what I'm going to get. 24 beers, it could be anything any day. However, with the instructions, I know it sounds kind of weird, instructions on an advent calendar, they actually have a thing here about an app that you can use. And I've tried it, and basically with the app, you take a picture of the beer that you're drinking, and it gives you some information. I tried it with a few other beers that I've had, and the information that I'm getting is pretty basic. It doesn't give a lot of information, but it's better than basically nothing. Like I said, I'm kind of winging it here. As well, I have cue cards that I got from the Cicerone Institute, which tells a little bit of, once again, a little bit about each type of beer. So I'm going to use those as well, try to get a little bit of information. So these reviews may be a little quicker than usual, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, because I got 24 straight that I'll do from December 1st to the 24th. And then between the 25th and the 31st, I want to get rid of the 4 Christmas ales that I have. So we'll go from there and see how it goes. So number 1, right here, I'll pop it open, take out the beer, read the can. These have all been refrigerated, so I'm not drinking warm beer. And the whole thing will go back in the refrigerator once I'm done. Now, the beer we have, it's Kauzle Helles Lager, and it says 1809, so I assume that's the time the brewery started. 5.2% alcohol. Name of the brewery, Kauzle in Germany, obviously. Imported by, not really interested. And that's about it. They have the ingredients, and water, barley, and hops. And they don't say yeast, which is kind of strange, but obviously there must be some yeast there. So I'll zoom in so you can see the can, then I'll take a picture. Actually, I'll pour it up, see what we got for aroma and whatnot, and then I'll take a picture, try it with the app, see what information we can get, and maybe I'll try the cards that I have as well. Actually, I'll try the cards first. I've had a Helles in a previous review. Obviously it's a type of lager. And the cards that I have, let's see, we got German beer styles, we got the fancy ones and the basic. And they have Munich Helles and a Helles Bock. And I'm pretty sure this would just be a Munich Helles. So bear with me. I'll see what I can find here. The Munich Helles, let's see what they say. They say the color is from straw to light gold, and they give the rating, which 3 to 5 SRMs, doesn't really mean nothing to me. For bitterness, they got out of 5, they got little pictures of hops, so it has 2 out of 5. They say the alcohol content is normally 4.7 to 5.4. And what did I say this was? This was 5.2, so right in there. For flavor and balance, they say similar in alcohol appearance to a German Pils, but malt balance so that it shows off the bready flavor of the Pilsner malt. History, they say formulated in 1890s, and what did I say? The date on this is 1809, so that's a little bit off. Formulated in 1890s to compete with the Pilsner style beers, today is an everyday drinking beer of Bavaria. And they say related styles, you got your German Pilsner, your Fest beers, and your international pale lager. So with that being said, it's probably going to be similar to what we're used to in North America. So I'm going to give my my glass a quick cold water rinse as per usual, just to cool off the glass a bit, get rid of any dust that might be in there. I'll pour it up and we'll see where we go. As I said, the cards actually said the style of beer came in the 1890s. The can says 1809, so I'm thinking possibly the brewery was brewing other beers before this one. They got a little owl on the can, but I'm not sure if there's a significance to that at all. By all means, I mean, you can go online to the brewery, you probably get more information. As I said, obviously I didn't know what beer I was going to get, so I couldn't really do that. So the color range is pretty well what we expected. They said from straw to light gold. Got a nice bit of head, which is good to see. Your typical lager aroma. Not bad. It's quite similar to what we're used to in North America, with a little bit more of an oomph to it, if I had to say anything about it. Yeah, I've said it before, I've always been, a Coors, Molson, Budweiser drinker, typical North American beer drinker. I've been doing these reviews now almost a year, so I've tried so many different types of beers. I think this episode is probably 58. And I found during that time, our typical mass production brews, I'm finding kind of boring. They're kind of bland once you get used to the flavors of international beers. And some go to the extreme. I mean, I've had some fruit-flavored beers, various sours, fruit-flavored sours, stouts, porters, so I've got some interesting flavors. But this one for the Helles, Germans known for their wheat beers and their lagers, or pills, or Helles. So for me, this is like something we'd see in North America with a little bit of an extra kick to it. Actually, I'm really enjoying that. I like it. Now, I'm going to take a picture of the can. The app that I'm going to use, they mention on the box, it's a beer tasting app. And basically, I got to take a picture of the can, and from there, they'll give me some information if it's listed, which it should be because it was a part of the box. All right, so bear with me. All right, it's a pretty neat app. Okay, so this one came up. Actually, I'll show you. I'll zoom in again, just so you can see what information it gave me from the picture I took. There you go. So I took the picture and it went through its database. It found the proper match, which is the proper beer, and it gives some basic information. Pretty simple. So I'm going to read that. Probably won't be anything more than what I got from my cards. And those cards I got, actually, you can actually be a beer expert, what they call a cicerone. And the cicerone headquarters is in Chicago. I think there might be another organization using a different name, but Chicago is the one in North America. They're international, but they're based out of Chicago. Basically, there's different levels of beer expert of what they call a cicerone. I think the first is beer server, then it's cicerone, advanced cicerone, or expert cicerone. Might be a little bit off, but you can do different levels. I haven't done any, but you never know, someday. Okay, so this one, they say the beer type is a Helles Lager, 5.2. It's bottom fermented, and basically that just means it's a lager. Bottom fermented means when it's being fermented, the yeast does its work from the bottom of the vat, as opposed to ales, which do it from the top of the vat. Sorry. They give some different reviews people had. I'm not going to bother with that. They give some ratings, and they really don't mean nothing. I think it's out of 5, and they're mostly 3.5 to 3.7. They give a beer description, so I'll read that. They say the Oschensenferter Kauzle Brawl, which is the name of the brewery. I know I bastardized that, so for any German viewers, I apologize. So basically, the brewery, which has been privately owned since 1809, which was on the can, is one of the most modern, medium-sized Bavarian breweries. The Kauzle Helles is a mild, full-bodied, and sparkling beer which was hopped pretty mildly. A pleasure that seduces you to continue drinking. The golden beer, with a small white head, emits an earthy, grassy aroma, remnants of hay. I didn't really get that myself. The taste is spicy and a little sweet in the first sip, on the other hand hoppy and grainy on the finish. The Kauzle Helles was brewed exclusively for the brewery's advent calendar. That I didn't know. In Germany, you will receive this beer in bottles or out of kegs. So there you go. Alright, to give my rating for the Kauzle Helles Lager, I'm enjoying it. I would say it's a good beer. I don't know if it's a very good beer. I think I'm comfortable giving it a 3.5. My ratings, as per usual, 1 is I'm not going to finish it. A 2 is not a big fan, but I'll finish it. A 3 is a good beer. 4 is a very good beer. 5 is the best beer I've ever had. So I'm enjoying this beer. So I think I'm comfortable giving it a 3.5. So there you go, folks. That's my rating for the Kauzle Helles Lager, day 1 of the Advent calendar. So hopefully you can join me all months as we go through this beast of a box. And we'll go from there. As always, until next beer, enjoy responsibly. Cheers.